Cosmic Brian, and I'm your host with the most. Yeah, that's pretty original, Big Bri. Hey guys, this is a special edition of shout outs and show and tell. Now the reason I say this is a special edition is because the shout out portion of this video is going to be directed towards our good friend Eric Weinbender, who we all love and who we are all praying for. I'm sure most of you know, if you don't already, Eric Weinbender was in a very serious car accident. He was injured pretty goddamn bad. He's laid up in a hospital bed right now. I was stunned to see a video that came out kind of explaining where he's been and why he hasn't been posting videos and whatnot. And there was a picture of his car on there. And I mean, I was a nurse in the emergency department in a level 4 trauma center for about 12 and a half years. And I gotta tell you, I've seen a lot of car accidents. I've seen pictures of the cars. I've seen the people come in and what they look like after some serious motor vehicle trauma. And if I had come up on that car, say I was just driving down the freeway or whatever, and I came up on that car, I would say the person that was in that car probably is no longer part of this world or is totally incapacitated. But fortunately for us and especially for Eric Weinbender, God had his hands wrapped around Eric and protected him and kept him, for the most part, his vitals intact. If you go to, there's a video on Rachel's live stream where Eric actually comes on from his hotel room and kind of explains what happened to him, how the accident happened, and shares some other thoughts about what happened to him. Also, if you go to the Metal Theologian, Aaron has posted a GoFundMe page, and I challenge you to go there and show your support for Eric and his family in whatever way you can. And I kind of want to take this shout out portion to just share a little bit about how I feel about Eric Weinbender and kind of how he came across my radar as part of this vinyl community. It was probably it's probably been almost 2 years now. I didn't know Eric Weinbender from Adam, so I remember showing this record in a video. This is Nucleus. It's a fun album. It's Nucleus, Jam on Revenge. This is like some 80s rap, an 80s rap album. And I remember saying in my video that I didn't think anybody had ever shown this or probably even knew who this group was. It's just kind of a fun record. Some funky rap, space rap kind of stuff. Kind of a good album. And in the comments section was this cat, Eric Weinbender, said, "Hey man, if you want to check out something crazy, go check out Getting Weird with Weinbender, and I think you'll be surprised to see that record in that video." And I was like, alright, so I went and checked it out, and sure enough, there was Nucleus, right? And before you know it, Eric and I are commenting on each other's videos, and we're starting to exchange VCLT, and gave each other our phone numbers, started texting. Let me tell you something about Eric, man. When I first seen his videos, I knew that cat was something special, man. I mean, he's got that it factor, man. That guy has got charisma galore. I said to myself, this guy is going to blow up in the VC. He's going to be huge. And sure enough, here we are, and he's probably one of the main attractions as far as his channel goes in the vinyl community. Probably one of the most likable guys. He's got such strong character. He's a strong personality. He's lovable, man. He's awesome. I mean, you see Eric, and you know he's pretty confident in his videos. He's pretty boisterous, if you will. But that cat is also very humble. He's very giving and generous and gracious. I mean, you can tell by his videos, he brings in his friends. He brings in his girl. He doesn't mind sharing the spotlight with his friends, and he gets everybody involved. And when he gives you VCLT, I mean, you know you're getting something good. I mean, I got VCLT from Eric where there was stickers, posters, comics, albums, all in the same box. This is a generous, giving cat, and now it's our time to give back when he needs it the most from us. And Eric, I just want you to know, man, that I love you, brother. And as far as my house goes, we're hitting our knees every night, brother, praying that God will touch your body and that He will make you whole again, my friend, and that He will touch your mind and give you peace far, far beyond any human understanding, so that as you go through this journey of healing, that you will be at peace with yourself. You will be strong. You will be as little pain as possible. Heck, if anybody can kick pain's ass, if anybody can kick traumatic injury's ass, it's Eric Weinbender. That guy is strong, and I have no doubt that he will be back in action, and he'll be back with us here in the vinyl community. But I just want you to know, Eric, I'm praying for you. And I don't know if everybody believes in the power of prayer. I'm sure you all don't, but at least send Eric some good vibes, man, some positive vibes. All right, I've said enough. I thought that for this portion I'd show some records that I've gotten recently. I think Eric Weinbender would probably like. So here we go. I'm gonna start with this. Oh wait, I gotta get rid of these mind shields, man. I gotta be able to see. Okay, all right, let's do this. All right, first record that I picked up recently is this record by the band called The Seclusions. It's called Isolation for Creation. Get a look at this. Kind of a cool story behind this record. This came out in 1983 on Fuzz International Records. It was engineered and recorded at Electric Ladyland Studios in New York City. The guy that did the production and mixing and all that was one of the guys that had worked with The Clash. The guys in the band, this is Randy Dash, he's the vocalist. This is Busta Jones, he is the bass player. He's toured with the Talking Heads. This is J.D. Daugherty. He played drums for the Patti Smith group. And this is Jimmy Rip. Jimmy Rip has collaborated with the likes of like Mick Jagger and whatnot, but this is a pretty wild album. It's basically like if you took 80s synth and new wave and applied it to a bunch of psychedelic and garage songs from like the 60s. Like listen to this, Nothing Can Change the Shape of Things to Come, which also features backup vocals by Joey Ramone and his brother Mickey Lee. And then you've got The Shape of Things, We Ain't Got Nothing Yet, which is a Blues Magoo's cover. You've got the Venus, a cover by Shocking Blue. They cover Inagata Devita by Iron Butterfly. I mean, this is a bunch of 60s garage and psych covers, kind of upgraded with like synth and new wave. It's a very cool album. Some of it's kind of punky and synthy, but I dig this, man. This is very cool. So if that sounds like something you'd like, man, check out The Seclusions. And then I picked up this, kind of going back in time here a little bit. This is an album that I've wanted for so long. Well, recently I won a contest, JJ's 22 Explosive Hits. I got Amazon gift card, so I picked up this. This is the Groupies. It's called Primitive. They're 60s. Oh, it says right here. Check this hype sticker. Gritty 67 garage punk perfection. It's the complete known recorded works of this band, this garage rock band from the 60s, known as the Groupies, led by this cat they call the Cooker. His real name is Norman it's De Rossier or something like that. Anyway, heavy drug user. They call him the Cooker because of how people cook heroin, like in a spoon. I say he was skinny and kind of skeevy and had green teeth, and his hair was kind of falling out. But yet he had something that attracted people to him. Women liked him. People came to see him sing. He has this really like snotty, gravelly garage punk voice. Songs like the title track, Primitive, is absolutely killer. And then Hog, I'm a Hog for You, Baby. And then there's like a full live set of music on here. And there's a strange, bizarre introduction by Kim Fowley. But yeah, this is a great record, man. I'm going to pull it out of here because I want to show you guys something. Shoot, I forgot to show you. Let me show you the vinyl on this Seclusions. It's kind of cool too. It's like this pink, like swirly stuff. Cool. The Cool Fuzz Records label there. And let me show you this vinyl. I'm not purposely like buying like colored vinyl, but this is still cool. There's a nice little write-up on the band here about how they were known more for their partying and stuff and doing drugs than they were for how much recorded content. This is a nice green on the Beat Rocket label. But yeah, these guys were so into their partying and drugs and stuff that they blew off like major shows and festivals and stuff. The Cooker ended up in the penitentiary, and that was the end of the Groupies. But cool, think like Stones-esque. They got the great bluesy garage rock with the harmonica. Just some great garage punk. It's amazing. And then moving right along, this is something that I showed briefly. I used it for an intro to one of my videos. This is Beechwood. Now Beechwood, this is trash glamour. And here's the guys right here on the back. This was released in 2014. It's like alt rock, indie rock, lo-fi, kind of punky. I don't want to call it garagey, more punky than garage, kind of more trashed out glam rock. But these guys, this is the two driving force, the creative forces behind the music, and it's Gordon Lawrence and Isatinio. Now, these guys started out as like teenagers that were skaters, and they were totally obsessed with the Stooges, the Ramones, and the Rolling Stones. And they were also like to play music. And one summer they just were doing drugs and drinking, hanging out, watching this documentary about the making of the Exile on Main Street by the Stones, right? And they thought, now that's the way to make record an album. So they surrounded themselves with girls and their friends and drugs and booze, and they locked themselves in this guy's basement, of his parents' basement, and they made their own little like nail coat like the Stones did when they did Exile on Main Street. And then they recorded it on one microphone. It's very lo-fi, but it's raw, but it's still really good. And they just let the creative juices materialize organically. And they said they spent most of the summer in that basement recording this album. And I love this, man. This is so good. I'm going to check out more of Beechwood. I think they have a couple other albums to check out. But yeah, cool stuff. Beechwood. I got a little beechwood going right now. This is something I picked up total blind buy, but this is the Rippers. Why should I care about you? Picked this up down here in a record. I hadn't seen it there before. It was in the new arrivals. The Rippers are an Italian garage punk band. It's modern garage punk with crazy like country western like blasts of speed and energy. It's here, take a look at the back here. I mean, these guys are mod maniacs. They've been doing punk rave ups like this since like 2002, and this is a hair shaking, aggressive garage punk with 60s influences. And I mean, the vocals are snotty. The guitar is like high octane rhythm and blues riffs, and the rhythm section is like tighter than a frog's ass. What did you just say? I can't believe I came up with that. But anyway, their names are Ripper 1, Ripper 2, Ripper 3, and Ripper 4. This is fantastic. Punky, garage rock, speed, fast-paced, great harmonica. Check that shit out. The Rippers. Cool stuff. Now we're going to go back in time a little bit. This is a record that I seen shown recently, but God, if I can remember who showed it. And it's something I've had for a while, but I've never shown it. But this is some 70s hard and heavy output by the band The Bang. And it's kind of a split album. It's part of it's called Mother and part of it's called Bow to the King. Now these guys are fantastic. Look at this guy, he's got a cape on. I don't know what it was about those 60s bands. Always somebody had to wear a cape. But this is so great. This is like, I don't know, like I said, 70s hard rock heavy, like proto-metal kind of stuff. They had 3 albums that came out in the 70s on Capitol Records that were criminally overlooked. And Capitol Records, they said they didn't know what to do with these guys. I find that absolutely ridiculous. How do you become interested in signing a band to your label and then not know how to promote them, how to do? You know what you do? You give them the money to make their album, you promote it, you give them artistic freedom, and then you give them time to develop, and then you just back their play. That's how you handle it. It's bullshit when they say, oh, they don't know what to do with us, kind of a thing. But these guys are great. They're from Philadelphia. Here's kind of a crazy story. They back then, no internet or nothing, right? So they're from Philly. They find this flyer and about this guy who's looking for hard rock bands for a festival down in Miami. So they just load up all their shit, their equipment, and they go to Miami. And they end up playing this festival. And then 2 or 3 gigs later, they're opening for Steppenwolf, and then they're doing their own shows. It's fantastic. This is great. The guitar work is fantastic in this. The bass is thunderous. The drums. It's a great record. Great 70s hard rock. Now this album that I'm going to show next doesn't even need an introduction. This is Beggar's Banquet by the Rolling Stones. But the reason I picked this up, first of all, I love this cover. But I like this cover way better than the white cover with the cursive on it. That's rock and roll right there, that cover. This reminds me of this old dive bar back in my old hometown in Fort Dodge called the Beer Garden, where when you walked in the bathroom there was a hole in the floor where rats would run in and out, and it was just a trough that you pissed in. Check out this gatefold. Love that artwork. It's amazing. But anyway, the album was initially released in 1968 on Decca Records in the UK. and on London Records in the U.S. And this is a reissue from, I believe, oh shit, I can't remember, maybe 2009? I can't remember, but it's on this Abco record label. Now, when this was initially recorded, it was mistakenly released at a slower tempo than was originally supposed to be, and because of it not only affected the tempo but affected the key that the music was played in. And this is actually from digitally remastered from the original master recordings, and they corrected that error by speeding it up to the speed it was supposed to be. It's like 30 seconds shorter than the original. Now, would I be able to tell the difference? Probably not. But I just thought this was it sounds absolutely killer. It's an amazing record. I mean, songs like Street Fighting Man, Sympathy for the Devil. This is so good. You've got your usual players. Of course, by this time, Brian Jones was so messed up on drugs that he rarely even showed up at the studio. So he's on all the songs, but very limited. And of course, at that time, Keith and Mick were over Brian, and they didn't even want him. They said, him to, wank off, But anyway, so Keith Richards plays most of the leads and the rhythm on this album. But this is a return to the roots rock, blues rock that the Stones became known for. This is the follow-up to their psychedelic album, their Satanic Majesty's Request. But this is this is probably one of my favorite Stones albums right here. But anyway, great stuff. Anyway, those are my records that I'm showing. You guys, please check out those videos. Please support Eric Weinbender. Let him know how much you love him. That's what he needs from us right now, man. And if you can support him in any way, shape, or form. Here he is lying in a hospital bed, and he's not asking for anything for himself, but what he's asking for is for us to help take care of the ladies in his life, his mother, his sister, his girl Veronica and her family. This is a guy that puts others before him all the time. And God, Eric, I commend you, brother. And again, I'm praying for you. Here comes the cosmic vibes coming towards you, brother. So you guys, keep praying for Eric Weinbender. Just keep reaching out to him and keep cosmic. I love you guys. Have a great night.
It's Cosmic Vinyl.